Hey everybody, welcome back. Coach Dave here with another 30-minute mobility class for you. We're going to focus on the hips and get a little bit of everything else, but mostly hips today. We're going to start class face down in reverse butterfly position. So make sure you get some space. You're going to want a comfortable surface, probably carpeted. Yoga mat on a hardwood floor probably won't cut it because we're going to spend a bunch of time on our knees. Meet me down on the floor face down. I'm going to rest my forehead on my hands. I'm going to bring my left knee up out as far as I can and my right knee up out as far as I can while still being able to keep the bottoms of my feet glued together. So this is the reverse butterfly position. We're going to take a few box breaths in this position. So settle in. Get those bottoms of the feet together, and we're going to breathe in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. All right, so let's take that first breath in. 2, 3, 4, hold. 2, 3, 4, out. 2, 3, 4, hold. 2, 3, 4. In, hold, out, hold. Keep your focus on those hips. Try to relax into the stretch. Breathe in, hold, out, hold. Okay, take 2 more breaths like that on your own. Fill the lungs. Breathe all the way out. Last breath like this, full lungs. Hold gently. Let it all out. All right, hopefully those hips opened up a little bit. Let's place the hands under the shoulders and push yourself up until you're in a seated position. We're going to sit down on our heels with most or all of our weight in big toe extension. The goal here is to get the big toes up towards the shins as much as possible while we work on a little bit of wrist mobility. We're going to spend some time on our hands and planks, so we want to loosen up those wrists. Elbows are glued to your sides. Imagine you have a cup of water on each hand right here. Fingers straight, reach the fingertips to the floor, and then reach the fingertips to the sky in flexion. Let's go through a few reps like that with nice straight hands. Still breathing full breaths, relaxing into those big toes. Okay, make fists. Imagine you've got a cup of water now balanced on your forearm. We're going to turn those wrists without spilling the water. Nice and slow, like you're moving through a tub of molasses. Go ahead and switch directions. One more turn, and let's relax off of those big toes. Let's get the laces down and sit back on those heels. Clasp your hands, and we're going to reach the palms up to the ceiling. Okay, in this position, you might have to readjust your hands a bunch, and that's fine. So you just straight arms, shrug up to your ears, and then pull those shoulder blades down to your back pockets. 5 times. Up, squeeze, down, up, squeeze, down, squeeze. There's 3. Let's get 2 more. Squeeze down, last one right here. Squeeze up, pull the shoulder blades down, release the hands. Let's bring the hands down in front of you in child's pose. Once you get your hands to the floor, let's walk the fingertips out as far as you can, straight arms. And let's rock the boat like we're bringing the right armpit down towards the floor. And then you're going to rotate your left hand up to the sky. As high as you can. Nice straight line between right hand and left hand. Bring it down. Place the left hand. Push the left armpit towards the floor and reach the right hand to the sky. Switch. Right hand down, right armpit down. Reach left to the sky. And switch. Keep those hips glued down to the heels. Switch, left hand to the sky. Make sure you're pushing that right armpit down. Freeze right here. Now we're going to rotate the shoulder in the socket. We're going to bring the arm back behind you and place the hand up on the mid-back. Open up even more. Take a breath. To unwind, we're going to lift the hand up off the back. Slowly twist back to the start. Left hand down. Left armpit down, reach right hand to the sky. Twist, bring that arm back behind you, rotate that shoulder. Hand comes up to mid-back, open up even more, take a breath. Lift the hand, rotate around. Repeat other side again. Right armpit down, left hand to the sky, twist. Take a breath. Unwind slowly. Switch. Left armpit down, right hand to the sky. Rotate. Unwind. And let's get one more rep. Nice and slow, constant movement. Last rep, make it count. Place the hands down, and we're going to go from child's pose to plank. We're going to do a few shifts. You're going to have to come up, dig your toes in, plank. Knees down, laces down, child's pose. Nice straight arms. Push that chest down to the floor. Shift up to plank. Shift back, child's pose. Shift up, plank. Shift back to child's pose. Last child's pose here. And bring it up, plank. Freeze in that plank position. You are welcome to drop the knees down for this scapular push-up if you need to. We're going to do shoulder blade, squeeze back behind you, and then push them away, pushing your upper back to the ceiling. Let's get 5 super slow, controlled reps, nice straight arms. There's 3. There's 4. There's 5. Go ahead and drop the knees if they're not already there. Now we're going to go from loaded beast, which is like child's pose, but your knees are up off the floor the whole time, into a deep lizard lunge. So loaded beast here, like this. And you're going to come up, bring your right foot next to your right hand. Nice straight left leg. Control that right foot back to the plank, loaded beast. Left foot comes up. Nice straight right leg. We're gonna go 5 switches per side. Step back, load, right side. Step back, load, left side. Step back, step up right. Step up left. Let's get 2 more each. Last one on the right side, freeze right there. Okie doke. We are going to drop that right elbow down towards the floor. You can drop your left knee to the floor, that's fine. We're going to take a few breaths here. If you have yoga blocks, you can use those yoga blocks to elevate the elbow if you can't quite get to the floor. Otherwise, up to the hand, try to get as low as you can. From this position, I'm going to rock on the outside of my right foot, dropping my knee down to the side, and then back up to the middle. Try just to move that right hip. We're not compensating through the left hip. Keep rocking back and forth. Bring your hands to the floor and push yourself back into half kneeling. Now, if you have yoga blocks, these can be really helpful. Highly recommend them here. If you don't, and you can't get into this position with your back nice and flat, I want you to grab onto something, okay? We're going to do a hamstring stretch, actual muscle belly. In order to get there, the knee needs to be bent slightly, okay? When we straighten that knee out, we tend to stretch just behind the knee. We want to get it deep in that muscle belly, right? Slight bend in the knee. We're going to hang out in that stretch. So if you had a tail, you should imagine that that tail is up to the sky. So instead of tucked underneath, we're actually going to work on tucking away, untucking. Happy tail, slight bend in the knee, big stretch in that muscle belly, chop the hips back. Okay, we're going to do some isometric contractions here. We're going to be driving the heel down into the floor like we're trying to fold the earth in half. We're going to ramp up slowly. Okay, take a big breath. Drive that heel down into the floor, 10% effort, 20% effort, 30, 40, 50, squeeze and hold that effort, keep squeezing. When we reverse, we're going to try to lift the leg, but it's not going to go anywhere. We're going to go 100% effort, try to lift in 2, 1, lift, squeeze that quad, lift those toes, keep squeezing as hard as you can, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax into stretch, soft bend in the knee. Check in with your back, check in with your hips. Chop those hips back even farther, find a new stretch. Make sure it's coming from the belly of that hamstring. We're gonna do that one more time on this side. Big breath in. Start to ramp it up, 20%. Driving that heel down to the floor, 30%, 40%, 50. Pull that heel in towards your other knee. Hold the effort, 50% for 10. Keep squeezing. 3, 2, 1. Reverse, lift. That foot should not be leaving the floor, 100% effort. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Right foot flat. Bring the hands up next to that foot. Step back to the plank. Loaded beast. Left foot comes up. Nicely done. Okay, take that left elbow, drop it to the floor. Drop the right knee. You can keep the knee up if you want an additional challenge. Let's breathe into this position. Remember, if you have a block, you can elevate that elbow any level that you'd like. And let's start rocking onto the side of the foot, dropping the left, so the left side of the foot, dropping the left knee out to the side. When you come back in, squeeze the knee into the middle. Let's get one more. Rock outside. Come in and shift yourself back into that half kneeling position. Grab your blocks if you have them. Set yourself up with a nice soft bent knee. Feeling that stretch right in the muscle belly. Let's hang out for that stretch. Chop your hip back. Happy tail. See if you can bow the stretch. Remember, we're not tucking the hips. We're rounded in the back, arched in the back. Find what works best for you. Same exact thing. We're going to drive that heel down into the floor like we're trying to fold the earth in half. Take a big breath and start driving that heel down 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50% effort. Squeeze, hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. Try to lift that leg up off the floor. 3, 2, 1. Relax into stretch. Check in with your back. Check in with your hip position. Make sure that stretch is right in the middle of that muscle belly. And we've got one more rep, just like that. Ready? Take a big breath in. Drive that foot down 20%, 30%, 40, 50%. Hold that effort. 5, keep squeezing. 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse, lift, squeeze that quad. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Ditch the yoga blocks if you're using them, foot's flat. Right. Just go ahead and bring that left leg back, so you're quadruped. And we're going to get into a pigeon pose. In order to get there, I'm going to get up to plank, and I'm going to drive my right leg up and through into this position here. All right. So for today, we're not holding pigeon. We're not holding this stretch. And your challenge is to get from pigeon here with your left leg straight, knee off the floor, into shin box. So drop the knee, bend the left knee, shift your weight slowly to the floor, and sit up into shin box. Check in with your shin box, make sure everything's 90 degrees. Focus on internally rotating that left hip. You can grab and pull. And then we're gonna get back into pigeon. So hand on knee, other hand on foot. Shift your weight forward, roll, and lift the knee. All right, if that felt really good, I want you to try to shift back and forth from pigeon to shin box without touching the ground with your hands. Otherwise, use as little assistance as possible. Knee to the floor, shift to shin box, rotate internally the left hip, shift, rotate to pigeon. That's 2, we are doing 5. Shin box, pigeon, shin box, pigeon, shin box. Last switch right here, pigeon. Okay, now we got to get to the other side, so let's bring it to the shin box and let's just switch it over. Okay, now I'm in a left side shin box. Left shin is out in the front. Grab on first, shift that right leg back, lift that right knee. Find out where you need to be to feel that tension. Remember, mobility is about control, not about flexibility. So you have to be active. Drop the knee, bend the right knee, shift to shin box, internally rotate that right hip. Okay, shift back to pigeon. If you're feeling good, I want you to do the next 4 switches with no hands or lightly touching the floor. Shin box, pigeon, shin box, pigeon, shin box, pigeon, shin box. Let's get back to the pigeon again, one more time. And then slowly shift to that shin box freeze. Okay, now we are going to bring the right leg from that shin box 90-90 into butterfly. Your challenge is to try to switch back and forth without touching the ground with your hands or your foot until it gets into that end position. Okay, so you're gonna lift the foot, rotate, set the knee first, then set the foot, or at the same time. Lift, butterfly, right side, shin box. Lean as much as you need to, but as little as possible. Butterfly, shin box. Butterfly, right side shin box. Butterfly, got a couple more switches. Shin box. Butterfly. Shin box. Last switch to the butterfly. Get to that butterfly and freeze. All right, nicely done. Let's grab onto those ankles or the shins. Pull your chest forward. Drop those knees down as low as you can get them. Take a couple breaths. If you can, slide those heels even closer in, actively pulling those knees down and away. And let's slowly release, and let's work our way down, face down, one more time. All the way down to the floor. All right, friends, we are getting into a full boat. If you can get there, amazing. If you cannot, that's okay too. We can absolutely go half boat, and that is grabbing same side ankle like this, okay? So you can enhance this in a number of ways. One of them is going to be by placing a block under your knee, but you need to imagine that you have a magazine rolled up. You stick the magazine under your hips, each side, and you're keeping those magazines glued to the floor so they don't unfurl, okay? So I will let you know when to switch if you're doing single side boat. If you're doing double side, I want you to try to keep those knees relatively close together. And my forehead is pressed to the floor. First things first, breathe. Press those hips down. Pull the knees up, even if it's only a millimeter, just gently pull. Last step is to pull the heels to the glutes. Once you get there, relax into stretch and breathe. You might feel more of a stretch, better position if you lift your chest and forehead up off the floor. Feel free to leave them there. When you're breathing, I want you to try to breathe into that low belly. I want you to breathe out slowly. Focus on relaxing into the position. If you're doing half boat, now is your time to relax and switch, slowly switching sides, controlling the switch as much as possible. If you're holding full boat, keep on floating. Expand that rib cage, breathe into the belly. Breathe out slowly and in control. One more breath. Drop the knees, slowly release the ankles. Try to hold the heels to the glutes and relax completely, very slowly and in control. Okay, the last thing we are doing is a bent knee hip extension from that prone position. So we're gonna stay face down. And we still have that magazine, right? It's all tightly wound and it's placed under the left hip.
right? My forehead is just relaxing on my hands. I'm gonna bend my left knee right here, push down into the magazine, and lift that knee up. Don't let that magazine unfurl. Hold. Relax. Imagine you've got your cup of coffee or wine up on the top of your foot, or the bottom of your foot. And you're gonna balance it there. Press the magazine, lift the glass, and relax. This should not be easy. Press and lift. 2, 1, relax. Press and lift. And relax. Last one, we're holding. Press, lift, hold. Keep holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. And now you're winding up that magazine, putting it under your right hip. Bend the right knee. Press the magazine, lift your foot, and rest. Lift, and rest. Lift, and rest. Lift, and rest. Last one we're holding. Lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Slowly place your hands under your shoulders and push yourself back up to seated on the laces. We're doing 2 full breaths. We're gonna let them all out forcefully. So breathe in deeply. Let it all out. One more breath like that. All right, friends, that is class. Thank you so much for joining me. Please drop me a like, subscribe if you want more classes, and be sure to follow us on Instagram at The Masters of Strength. I hope to see you again.